Hello, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. We are back in the Pearl after our foray into the treasonous, conspicuously deserted townhouse. And the reason is because we want to talk to Isabella. We leveled up and gained some more dexterity, so we're going to see if we can win her little game and unlock the duelist specialization.
Welcome back, Grey Warden. And what can Isabella do for you today?
So you're the captain of a ship?
Yes, the Siren's Call. My pride and joy. She's seen me from my own Ravane and the Isle of Lemerin to the coast of Parvolan. All I need is my ship and the wind at my back, and once my men have had their fill of the pleasures of dry land, we will be off again. We are getting as far away from this blight as possible.
You're an excellent fighter. Why are you running away?
Hey, I'm not going anywhere near the blight, and you'd get away too if you had any sense in that pretty head of yours. The way I see it, I can sail as far away from it as I need to, even to the other side of the far Underfells. The sea will look after her own.
As a Grey Warden, I do not have that luxury.
Ah, of course. You have a duty. If you do save us all, sweet thing, I shall return to thank you personally.
Ooh. This is a good start to the episode. Ha! I heard you were a duelist.
Did Cassavir tell you that? It's true. I fight with quickness and wit, and they have served me well. I call myself a duelist because I honed my skills in duels with warriors I encountered over the years.
Will you teach me how to be a duelist?
An unusual request, coming from a fearsome slayer of Darkspawn. I am flattered that you wish to learn from me, sweet thing. But I have watched you, and you seem to lack a particular grace that is required. You are accustomed to doing battle a certain way, yes?
Yes,
I can
yes,
teach you
I'm
some
a
basics.
warrior.
Perhaps you can pass it on to someone who might be interested in what I have to offer. I do, however, wish to get to know my potential student better, so we shall call for a drink, and you will honor me with a game.
Now you can say, are there no other ways for us to get to know each other better? And that will kind of lead down a path of, you know, little, how's your father? But it's, with Morrigan here, probably not the best idea. She probably won't appreciate it. And that's really not Ash's style, so. Alright, what game?
Have you ever played Wicked Grace? It is easy to learn, but difficult to master. You must watch your opponent's moves as carefully as your own.
Oh, I'm watching
Before
you.
we start, the cards must be shuffled. Shall I, or would you like to?
You may shuffle.
Very well. There. That should be sufficient. 5 cards each to start with, and may the cleverest player win. The serpent-entwined dagger. I was looking for this.
I bet you were. Dexterity! Oh no. Cheating, I see.
You certainly have quick reflexes. I'm quite impressed. And as for me cheating, well, the game does not matter. I just wanted to see if you could outwit me. You have proven yourself quick and resourceful, and I would be honored to pass my skills on to you.
Teach me now.
Come, we will need some space for this.
Yay! Specialization unlocked. Thank you, Isabella. She's a bit more, what's the word? She's a bit more, I don't know, gracious. It's gonna bug me that I can't remember the word. Someone will post it in the comments. She's a bit more. She's not as much as out for herself. In Dragon Age 2, she's very much a, you know, she's very selfish and eventually has a change of heart. But in this game, she's a bit more. Hey, okay, we're in the blight. I'll teach you my ways.
Going.
All right, so let's get out of here. What do you say? Back to camp. We have a whole bunch of quests to do, and we will get to them. But I think it's time we check back in with our party. So let's go have some conversations.
I have been studying Mother's grimoire. Do you wish to hear what I have found?
Ah, yes, she's referring to the book we gave her after we finished the Circle Mage's Tower. So I guess she's done figuring stuff out with it, so... What did you find?
'Tis not what I expected. I had hoped for a collection of her spells, a map of the power that she commands. But this is not it.
Yet you look disturbed.
Disturbed? Yes, perhaps that is the right word. One thing in particular within her writings disturbs me. Here, in great detail, Flemeth explains the means by which she has survived for centuries.
A spell of immortality?
Oh, if only 'twere so. Flemeth has raised many daughters over her long lifetime. There are stories of these many witches of the wilds throughout chastened legend, yet I have never seen a one, and always wondered why not. And now I know. They are all Flemeth. When her body becomes old and wizened, she raises a daughter, and when the time is right, she takes her daughter's body for her own.
Oh my, that's rather horrible. Are you certain about this? Nah, of course she's certain. She wouldn't have come to me if she was certain. Wasn't certain. So why would she risk sending you with me?
I do not know. Perhaps 'tis as she said, the Darkspawn threaten her as much as they threaten anyone else. Or perhaps she believes that this journey will make me more powerful. According to the tome, if the host is already powerful and trained in magic, it takes far less time for Flemeth to settle in.
So if you died, she would have So if you died, she would have another daughter.
Not by any natural means. Perhaps I should take this as a vote of confidence from her on my capabilities. Or perhaps she simply wished me gone from the Korkari wilds, so she could prepare her ritual in peace. A disturbing thought.
So what do you intend to do about it?
There is only one possible response to this. Flemeth needs to die. I will not sit about like an empty sack waiting to be filled. Flemeth must be slain, and I need your help to do it.
Very well. I'll help you if I can.
Then what needs to be done is for you to go back to Flemeth's hut in the Korkari wilds without me. If I am present when she is slain, I cannot be certain that she will not be able to possess my body right then, so I must remain at the camp. Confront her and slay her quickly. I doubt she will truly be dead even then, but it will take her years to find a new host and recover her power, if that is even possible. The thing I must have is her true grimoire. With it, I can defend against her power in the future. Everything else in her hut is yours.
Do I have a time limit on this?
Not really, but the sooner the better, no?
I'll see what I can do.
I am grateful. The sooner this can be done, the sooner it will set my mind at ease.
Now, I don't specifically feel good about killing Flemeth. Flemeth did help us. I mean, she's a nutty old bat, but she did save us from the battle at Ostagar, and did give us Morrigan, and Morrigan has proven to be extremely helpful. So she can't be... well, she could be evil, but clearly she fears the Blight just as much as everyone else does. She could have just killed us and forgotten all about it, or, you know, said, screw it, I can protect myself. I don't need to rely on the Grey Wardens or whatever. So, yeah, I'm a little bit torn, but at the same time, Morrigan is more important to me than Flemeth is, and raising children to steal their bodies later is not exactly what I would call morally sound. So, with that in mind, we shall kill Flemeth. But first, we shall talk to Wynne.
What's on your mind?
Let's see. Are you feeling better now?
Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today.
I like making sure all my companions are well.
Well, thank you for your kindness, my dear. It certainly warms these rickety old bones.
Wynne approves. Good.
What's on your mind?
I was just... I think I've talked about all this stuff.
Is something troubling you?
So I asked her, I wanted to talk about the Grey Wardens. I don't know, it's just difficult sometimes.
You are one of the 2 surviving Grey Wardens in Ferelden. You defend all of us, and much rests on your shoulders. It may not mean much to you, but thank you for having the courage to continue to fight.
I don't give up easily.
And that gives me hope.
Yeah.
Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old?
I know they soared through the skies on griffins.
Griffins. Alas, that seems to be the only thing people remember from the tales. The mighty flying mounts that bore the Grey Wardens into battle.
Imagine raining death upon our enemies. How glorious.
Yes, the glory days. It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago.
Does the story have griffins in it?
Maker's mercy, it's like talking to a child.
Well, you are old enough to be my grandmother.
Yes, there are griffins in this story.
Huzzah!
The blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men.
Griffins?
Yes, griffins. Now listen to the rest of the story. The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the archdemon was dead, and the last darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back, and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled.
Nonsense. Both sides always take losses.
This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden.
Well, that was uplifting. And why the hell do we not have griffins in Dragon Age? Now, story-wise, they provided a sufficient justification. They're extinct now. We use them too much, and now they're nowhere to be seen. But come on, griffins are cool. Why would you deny the audience griffins? Sigh.
What's on your mind?
As a Grey Warden, I'll never lead a normal life, will I?
No, you won't.
I already knew the answer. Don't know why I asked.
Because you were not looking for the answer, but for someone to tell you that in spite of it, you'll be all right. You wonder sometimes, don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are.
A little.
When I was a young woman in the tower, I came to the realization that the circle would be my life, and I would know no other. Family, love, a simple life. These were things that others took for granted, that I would never have.
And this upset you?
It made me very moody. All I could think of was being trapped in that tower with no way out and no end in sight. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I was seeking refuge, maybe answers.
It's hard to imagine you as a moody youth.
Well, I was. Dreadfully morose. Surly. Anyway, where was I? Ah, yes, the chapel. I must have looked tearful or made some noise, because the revered mother came out and decided to speak to me. And because I had no one else to talk to, I talked to her. I must have said many silly things, but she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason, and fighting our intended course is what causes so much anguish.
Ah, can't get enough of that religious claptrap.
I thought the old biddy was full of rubbish. I was 15, maybe 16, and I knew everything. So I left, but I always found my way back to that chapel. And as the years passed, I began to see the truth of her words. We were supposed to be polar opposites, mage and priest. But we weren't. There was much about us that was the same.
But priests have to choose to be priests. Mages don't.
Not all priests choose their path. Some children are given to the chantry to raise and become initiates. The revered mother had lived in the chantry all her life, as I had been in the tower for all of mine. She taught me that you can find your family in the people around you, that you can love your work and find fulfillment in duty. And there is joy even in self-sacrifice. If you put others before yourself, then their well-being is yours, and their happiness is your happiness.
Would you hate me if I said you were full of rubbish? That doesn't sound healthy.
It isn't healthy to throw yourself at a pack of darkspawn either in order to save the world. So I'd say you're in no position to judge.
That's true.
You can scream and cry and be angry about life as a Grey Warden. Or you can accept it and allow yourself to see the good in it. This is your choice.
It's interesting what she says about the mages. It's an interesting point that, some children are given to the chantry and then they grow up in the chantry. What she's forgetting is that, you can leave the chantry service. I mean, unless you're a Templar and you do the whole lyrium thing. It's not like, you can grow up in the chantry and then leave the chantry if you wish. If you're a mage, you have no choice. You're boned. You are, regardless of what you want, you are stuck there. So it's not quite the same thing. It's close though, and I understand what she's trying to talk about.
What's on your mind?
I didn't want to derail her too much, because she does make a good point that you should, if you don't have a choice, you should make the best of it. But if you do have a choice, you should endeavor to make the choice that you want to make and stick to it. But, okay, enough of that. I'd like to ask you about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
You always do. Nothing right now. Alright, so she is talked out. Let's go talk to Doggy. He cocks his head at you. Pet Alexander! Yay! Doggy! Alright, well, let's go ahead and, we haven't spoken to Alistair in a while. How you doing, sir?
Something on your mind?
Nice armor. Oh, he's wearing the Templar armor, by the way. Because it's awesome. And Ash cannot yet wear it, because he is not a Templar. I could make him one, but still not sure if I want to do it, so.
Of course.
So how did you become a Grey Warden?
Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already, have you?
I meant before that.
Let's see. I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills.
You don't seem like the religious sort.
You're telling me I was banished to the kitchens to scour the pots more times than I can count. And that's a lot. I can count pretty high. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did. I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky.
Why did the Grand Cleric want to keep you?
I wondered that myself. It's not as if she valued me highly. I think she just didn't want to give anything to the Grey Wardens, is all. The Chantry didn't lose much. And I think I can do more fighting the Blight anyhow, rather than sitting in a temple somewhere.
Hear,
I'll
hear.
always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have.
He was a good man.
He was. A good man who didn't deserve his fate. That much I'm sure of. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking.
He's getting a little misty on me. Hold it together, Alistair. Hold it together. Let's go ahead and talk to Sten. Actually, I have a gift for Sten. I should give it to him. Sten. Last one. Figures. Water-stained portrait for you, sir.
I am impressed. My thanks.
You're welcome. I'm pretty awesome.
You called.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Do you find Ferelden very strange?
To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Our farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are.
Is there anything you like about Ferelden?
There is interesting food here. You have a thing. It doesn't have a word in the Kunari tongue. Little baked things like bread, but sweet and crumbly.
Cookies!
Yes, we have no such things in our lands. This should be remedied.
I agree. Don't the Kunari ever want to change their lot in life?
What does that accomplish? The farmer who buys a shop is never a merchant. He is always a farmer turned merchant. He carries his old life with him as a turtle carries its shell.
Maybe he was meant to be a merchant.
Meant by whom? And if that were indeed his purpose, why did that mysterious source of meaning not make him so to begin with?
Good point. How do you find your purpose if you don't look for it?
You can learn to find it in doing your duty, in serving your people. There is no need to search for it. Shall we move on?
You sound a bit homesick.
Perhaps. It's strange to be in a crowd and hear a language that is not your own. To see faces that are and aren't like yours. I miss the smells of Saharon. Tea and incense and the sea. Ferelden smells of wet dogs.
Everyone keeps bringing back the dog smell. You left out rotting garbage.
True. I was trying to forget that part. Shall we move on?
Wanted to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak, then.
That's enough.
Then I suggest we move on.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Actually, never mind.
Very well.
Let's go.
As you wish.
Oh, Sten, plus 15. Wow. That was a good line of questioning for him. But, yeah, it's interesting. The Kunari believe in a very rigid case system where everybody is predestined to be a certain thing. In his case, he is predestined to be a warrior, and that is that. He is nothing else. He's never ever going to be anything different than a warrior. And that's cool if that's what you want, but if you want to try something different, you cannot in their society. You are locked in, and there's no choosing it. It's just what you were. And for some people, that might be, I could see how that would be tempting, especially if, say you're part of the disenfranchised and you're not valued. If you're in the Kunari belief structure or government or whatever they have, you are valued as long as you do whatever it is you're predestined to do. It's essentially communism. Well, not really. Bits of it, I suppose. But yeah, it's if you are the downtrodden and you want to be useful and you want to be valued, then this system will give you value. You won't get value on your own. It'll be given to you, but you'll have it. So I could see how some people would find that tempting. I would not, because even I would rather try and fail, try to be something I want to be and fail, than to not be, than to have something forced upon me. So that would be our difference. But there's no reason why we couldn't see eye to eye on lots of other things. So, interesting talk. Shale, what's up, buddy?
It speaks.
It does. I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
Indeed not. Let's move on.
Then.
Okay, so you've got nothing new. Well, fine. Let's go talk to Leliana. Leliana, speak.
Oh, hello. Is there something you wanted to talk about?
Of course. Oh yeah, it's actually been a little bit, but yeah, we did her quest where we took care of her little spat with Marjolaine. So let's debrief about that. I'd like to talk about what happened today.
It's nothing. I'm fine. I'm just thinking.
Do share.
I can't get what happened out of my head. I'd been in Lothering for years, and she still thought I was plotting against her. She didn't trust me. Maybe she never did. She loved me when she could use me and control me. And now that she can't, she wants me dead. It hurts to realize that I never really knew her.
Is there anything I can do?
You are already helping so much by listening to me. I knew she was ruthless, but I didn't know how far she could go. She is self-serving, cruel. She uses people, then discards them. But that's how she survives in the life she leads. What if she's right? What if we're the same? I should just have stayed in the Chantry.
And you think that would have made it better?
You don't understand. I forgot my life as a bard while I was in the cloister. I felt safe. I didn't have to watch my back all the time. That's what made Marjolaine the person she is, don't you see? It ruined her. It will ruin me too. Even now, I feel some regret at not ending her life in order to protect my own.
What's important is that you didn't act on it.
What we're doing. What we've done. Hunted men down. Killed them. Part of me loves it. It invigorates me, and this scares me. I feel myself slipping.
You're not slipping, Anna. Marjolaine chose who she became, so can you.
How can you be so sure?
Evil doesn't worry about not being good.
That is true. I can always trust you to show me things from a different perspective. I would like to be alone for now. I have many things to consider. Thank you for listening to me.
You're welcome.
Something I can help with?
I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Nothing. Just stories. Alright, well, that is all. Let's go talk to Morrigan one more time. I also need to visit the shop because I have money, but we'll get to that. Morrigan, what's up? Oh, hi. I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
Never mind. I'd like to discuss something personal.
We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Care to join me in my tent?
Perhaps. Shall I consult my capricious nature and divine an answer for you?
Get in the tent, woman.
Am I to be interrogated? However shall you wring my secrets from me?
Epic love music. All right. No more. Okay. It's pretty sad when I'm done before the music ends.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road.
It is indeed. But where do these goods come from? Not the deep roads.
Look, we don't rob people, all right? We don't take things from people that need them. The things in the law's ties, what good did they do lying there? I brought them back to Orzammar, where people could look at them and remember. It's not all that different up here. There are places long abandoned by the humans everywhere. Even more now with the Darkspawn coming.
What do you mean?
People flee from the Blight with good reason, but they forget things. Things with value and meaning. They leave them behind because they're frightened and desperate. And sometimes, my boy and I, we find our way to these places before the Horde descends, and we save these things. I take them away so the Darkspawn don't get them. Is that so bad? They destroy everything they touch.
I suppose it's better than having the Darkspawn take it all.
That's what I tell myself, too. Ah, these are dark times indeed. Dark times, my friend.
Let me see your wares, Bodan.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
One thing about my discount is I have no idea how much it is. So it's not like at, Walmart or something or Costco or BJ's where they give you a little receipt that says, "Oh, you saved this such and such amount of money." Of course, they could be lying to me too, and probably are. Okay, so I have 31 gold, which is fairly good. Actually, I'm a little happy with that. And so I can buy some stuff and things. So let's go ahead and get anything that's worth it. Now this is a pretty decent staff. It's not great though. It's not the best staff from Morrigan that I could possibly get. This is a pretty good helmet. I actually don't have a helmet for Leliana. I was going through my gear and noticed that. So that will have to be rectified. This Blood Dragon plate is nice because it has quite a bit of armor on it. But it does not have any stats, which bugs me. And I'm not even sure that the Blood Dragon stuff has any... well, the helmet does have plus 10 health, but it's not as good as the Helm of Hanleith. Apart from the fact that it's got a lot of armor. But I think I'm fine. I'll worry about it later. Silverhammer's Taskmasters, those are pretty good for Leliana. Peerler Weavers, those are pretty good for a mage. The Bard's Dancing Shoes, those are also really good for Leliana. I should get those eventually. Black Metal Torque, that's good for the doggy. 6 attack, 6 armor. Good all around. That I'm not worried about. Earthshaker's Portable Bulwark. Now that is a pretty decent shield. 1 strength, 1 dexterity, 1 constitution. All stats that I need, except that does not have 5% chance to dodge attacks and a chance to avoid missile attacks. And it doesn't increase hostility. So that's something to keep in mind. But it is, it's red steel. It's got 2 more defense, and a lot more. Actually, come to think of it, it's got 8 missile deflection as opposed to 3 missile deflection. So it might be better. But there are other shields I can get. I'm gonna hold off on that for now. I don't want to spend all my money on that stuff. But these Bard's Dancing Shoes, they're Drake skin. They're pretty sweet. It's kind of hard to argue with that. What else do they have? The spell ward. Oh boy, do I want the spell ward. Someday. 2 willpower on that guy. That's good. Stamina regeneration is also good. Increased monetary gain. That's good to have on somebody, but it doesn't increase it by that much. So, range crit chance. That's good for Leliana. It's only 2%, but 2% is 2%. It's fairly cheap too. Might as well. Okay, and Ember and Hailstone are fire damage and such. Let's see. Grandmaster Lightning Rune. Grandmaster Frost Rune. Those are both good. There was that Paralyze Rune I saw. It's a... By that. I think that keeps on coming back. I think I bought that like 5 times. But, you know, affection for Morrigan. Huzzah. Yeah, there's some decent runes. The Grandmaster Lightning Rune is strong, but it is 13 gold. And I do tend to find... Actually, I believe I have Master Lightning Rune, which is almost as good, so I'm not going to bother buying more runes. I would like a Paralyze Rune. Grandmaster Slow Rune, it's not too bad. And the rest of those are gifts. But yeah, I should really start getting some better stuff from my other characters. So let's go ahead and get the Bard's Dancing Shoes. Pulling the trigger, making it happen. These Imperial Weavers, actually, let's just check what Morrigan has. Yeah, those are much better. 10% chance to dodge attacks. Getting it. They're pretty cheap too for the price. Silverhammer's Taskmasters, Tackmasters, and don't need them. I still have enough for the shield. It's man, it's tough. It's a tough decision. But I think I might do this. It does give me strength, dexterity, constitution, all stuff that I want. I think I'm good for now. I do like the hostility generation on them. And let's see, I do need a leather helmet for Leliana, and this is tier 6, because 5 gold though is kind of expensive. I'd rather wait for a helmet that's more geared towards ranged characters. That's kind of just average. So yeah, that'll do for now. Alright, where's Leliana? Equip her with the stuff. Bard's Dancing Shoes. Equipping it. Actually, I think, where is it? Sten has a helmet that I can use for her. Yeah. The Kinari Quick Cap. It's better than nothing. And he's not... he might as well not have anything equipped. Since I never ever use him. So, yeah. Take that. Oh. What? Oh, I need 17 strength. Ah, oh, boo. Boo, boo, I say. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Do I have... I might as well give her some kind of ring. Doesn't matter which. Oh, and I should buy the torque. Yeah, I think I should. Let's do that.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed.
Formidable
Good to have you along on the road.
Let me see your wares. I want the thing with the stuff. Where are you? Oh, crap. What was I looking for? I don't even remember. Oh, right. The torque. Duh. Derp. Alright. Yeah, dog, having him around all the time means that it's worth equipping him with the best stuff you can find. So, that is good. And she needs... Well, I can sell that iron ring. Oh yeah, and the longbowman's belt. Gotta equip that on somebody. Probably Leliana. What belt does she have? Yeah, she doesn't need that belt. Someone else can use that. What's she got? 3 willpower, 10 mental resistance. That's Wynne's belt. +2 magic's hard to argue with that. He can use the Creationist Chord. Yeah, that's fine. And don't really care too much about him. Okay, so we're good. Alright. Oh, and enchantment. Don't forget enchantment.
Enchantment?
Indeed. I want some enchanting done.
Enchantment!
Enchantment! And because we have Gorham's Sword, which is very, very good, and we have a couple of runes to put in it. For now, I can do Master Fire and Master Electricity. Accept. And let's equip that sucker. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, baby. That is a fiery sword. Anybody got a light? Alright. Well, I think that does it for now. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.